Dr. Johnny Bloomfield is on regularly now as well. And were you inspired by the marathon? That's the question we're asking. Did you see people running the miles and think to yourself, I could do that. I could go from being a couch potato at least to a 5K. Johnny, it's inspirational, the marathon, or is it just a reminder to people that they couldn't do it in a fit?
Sorry, you've caught me on the back foot there, Frank. I find it inspirational. Isn't it amazing to see just how many people are out there and pounding the streets and doing things for so many good causes as well. I was at the front gates of Stillman seeing the group lead off, and just it took 15 minutes for everyone to clear the mile. You know, it was just brilliant to see so many people and taking on the challenge.
Did you ever do it yourself? You know, you're a fit guy, you've worked with sporting teams. You know, maybe you could tell us a bit about some of the groups or organisations that you've worked with in the past. People mightn't be familiar with this, but how fit is Dr. Johnny?
Oh, I keep myself fit, but I'm a pretty busy guy, so I've got a young family and I'm running a business, so I don't at this stage in my life have the time to train and run a full marathon, but I would run and cycle and walk very regularly. I also enjoy doing yoga and any sort of strength training as well. So I'm trying to meet those minimum guidelines that are out there. We should be reaching 150 minutes of moderate or vigorous activity every week, and I should be doing some resistance work, and I like to do some lengthening work as well, so I like to stretch too. So that's a bottom line for me. I do that every week. But yes, I like to encourage people to embrace positive forms of exercise that are manageable in busy schedules, and running is a great example of that. You don't need to train for a marathon to become a runner. In fact, there was a great study that was in America. Iowa State University found that if you were to run just simply 3 times a week for an average of just 17 minutes at a time, that can reduce your risk of fatal heart attack or stroke by 55%. And it's been found that just running between somewhere 3 and 7 miles of running per week can significantly reduce the risk of stroke, heart disease, diabetes, and cholesterol. So it's just one of those things that doesn't require a lot of equipment, doesn't require a lot of space. We just need to kind of get out our front door, put on a decent pair of running shoes, a comfortable outfit, and get out into nature and jog or run in a way that's suitable to us. And it doesn't have to be for very long for us to reap huge benefits.
Yeah, and you talk about sedentary lifestyle, you talk about movement and getting it into everything that we can possibly get it into. I was impressed by the number of people running the marathon who didn't seem to be any slimmer than I am. They all seem to have not all of them, but many of them seem to have just a bit of an issue around bulk. And I often thought that because I'm a bit bulky that you can't run, but that's totally wrong.
Yeah, well, they're busting the myth there in front of us. So, health comes in all shapes and sizes. We shouldn't really look at any barriers that prevent us from doing things. Now, of course, if you've got if you're of a particular size and you've got particular issues with your joints, maybe running might not be the most suitable. Although there is more and more research coming out that's showing that running is beneficial for our joints, and in particularly in a journal of osteoporosis, they discovered that runners had higher bone mineral density than people who either are sedentary or go swimming. So there is huge benefits no matter what shape or size we're in to maybe take up running in an appropriate way and gain some wonderful benefits from that.
Yeah, I just can't run. My calf muscles don't allow it. If I get up beyond a jog, I can feel them tightening. I love walking. I'd love to be able to run the way those guys can, even in the 5Ks. I can't do it. I've tried to do it. Just they seize on me. But thankfully, I'm walking, I'm cycling, but I always feel guilty when I have a conversation with you, Johnny. I believe that I need to do more.
Well, I mean, you mentioned at the top of the piece there around the Couch to 5K program. So that is a wonderful way of becoming from going from a non-runner and someone who is complaining, I've got issues, I can't do this, I can't do that, but a real non-believer as well of not being a runner, just to simply ease your way in very, very simply and gently into the start of a program, and you create that tiny little snowball, and you just repeat it 3 times a week, and it covers you over 9 weeks, and the transformation is tremendous. Now, I've led a couple of Couch to 5K groups over my time, and I mean, it's one of the most joyous things that you can see, the transformation in people who come with that firm belief that they're never going to make this. They're going to give it a go, but they never really see the end point. And to then graduate them in a park run, which of course is a free event every Saturday morning, and it's not just about the running; it's also about the community feel. If you do a Couch to 5K in a group, you are supported by that group, and then if you get involved in the park run, there is a regular community that you belong to, you can take part in, and there's just so many smiles and happiness that's involved in that. And it's not about who can run the fastest or who's the best runner. It's about just getting out and doing it and feeling good after having got it done. But yeah, I've seen Couch to 5K transform people remarkably, and not only themselves, but also their family members too have joined in and gained benefit as well. So truly inspirational.
Yeah, great sense of achievement. Johnny, thank you. Dr. Johnny Bloomfield from johnnybloomfield.com, making us feel like as if we should be out and about as we gallop into the summer, or maybe as we just stride or gently tiptoe towards the summer. Whatever speed you're able to do it at, try your best to do something to move from the sedentary lifestyle, if you have the ability to do it, to move from a sedentary lifestyle. Says Frank, sitting behind a desk for 3 hours every morning. And, we don't have the equipment here to do it standing up. The Americans sometimes do. If I was to stand up now, right, I'm going to do the next link standing. First of all, I have to move the microphone, which is coming up with me now in the standing position. But with my wee short arms, I can't reach any of the controls here. They would have to come up on some form of elevator for me to be able to press the buttons. So back onto my backside.